So I was climbing a tree and the branch broke. I was thinking I may need to lose a little weight. Well, it wasn't just the branch. It was kind of, well, it's hard to explain. Yeah, might be time for soup and salad for a little while. The next interruption. I need to make this look nice so the neighbors, so the neighbors don't have to look at this. Long time ago, this was a terrible, terrible looking house. And then I took over. Times were like moving forward, and then my good friend passed away, and I haven't been able to manage without him since. But today we're measuring everything up, and we're going to put a new sheet of plywood for that little window roof, and then we're going to just put a flat 1/4 inch material with battens. The original idea to do the siding, the original idea was to use it's called a cedar look, I think, siding. It's really good, would look really nice, but today it's more important to make it look presentable. You know, do the first chapter of repairs on the house. See the rotted out wood? This house used to have a lot of that. That's about all that's left now. The problem is working on too many things at once. And there's no real way around it. Oh, you know what? Can I show you? Oh. I thought the side might have some of that siding on it. I've forgotten even the colors of the trim, coil stock and everything. I do know the siding, it's a Carolina beaded. And this, oh, there it is. I'm sorry. That is the siding up there. But what I was going to use on the front has a curled bottom. I'll show you in a minute. Doesn't look like replaced siding, does it? Not when you let the mildew grow. Needs a pressure washing. All in good time. Let's do the obvious first. Alright, that's it for now. The reason why I'm knocking the nails in is because I want to see the condition of the wood. Will it hold another nail even if it's temporary? And the reason I'm missing is because one hand is holding this, the other hand is holding this, and that means there's nothing left to hold me on this. I fell once. I had a house inspection, and I was waiting for the inspector, and I was on a ladder, just like this one, not very high, and the ladder slipped. It was on bricks, so something, I'm not even sure where I lost it, but I came down. It wasn't the height, it was the fact that I landed my back on the ladder, bent one of these, and then just laid there for a while. And Linka was in the truck stuck. Called a friend to I had a cell phone. Called a friend to come and get me. He got me over to my car. The car got me over to the hospital. After a while, the hospital let me go. On the way home, I forget who called from the hospital, but they said that the x-ray showed that I had a little hairline crack somewhere in my back. I wasn't going back to the hospital at that point. Nope. Alright, so we're ready for the piece of plywood on top, and then I'm pretty convinced that I have access from the bottom, that these little tiny rafters are still going to do the job. I don't remember when I put these here, the exact date. It'd be interesting to know. Okay, I'll be back. Well, here we are again. This is what I was able to get finished. So the roof deck with the roof sheathing has been replaced, and 3/4 has been put up there. If I have to do this again, it's 22 inches wide. On top of that, there's a piece of coil which probably is going to be painted, so it'll be a darker green like the shingles on the house. But for now, I had to get something up there. And then the panels that you see above, let's go in a little closer. That's actually a 1/4 inch birch, and it only has its first primer coat. It's going to get some vertical battens. I think that 8-foot section is going to get divided into 3. I have like 32-inch sections. I think that'll work nice. So 4 battens will get added. Everything will be nailed down tight. You might see some nail heads sticking out. Caulking and another coat. I had some birds still living in the house, so I had to leave this open. I know I'm in a hurry, but I don't know, just can't do that to the birds. And then on this side, oops, forgot that, whoop, gutter board. But that last missing piece of shingle is gone. Alright, so this is why I can't get anything done, jumping around, zig and zagging. I should have zigged when I zagged. Okay, next step. So the 5 battens have been put on, and the color is just a primer. If you look real close, the bottoms were dipped in paint on those 3 centers, and so they're painted front and back sides. And then the siding was taken down the top course, and new Tyvek was put on, and then we put a under sill trim. There I go saying we again. Still gotta evict some birds. They're almost out. We'll get that patched up next time. So it's coming along. Let me show you the other side real quick. See the vine? There's more and more vine leaving. And I have that louvered vent that's inside. So, wonder if I can edit in a picture when we first got here, what it looked like. There it is, we again. It's me getting here. Alright. What do you think? A little bit of progress? It's not that many hours. It's just, there's no power here. So a lot of the cuts are made somewhere else, they're measured, made somewhere else. So the hours wasted are adding up. And I have generators, but I don't really want a generator singing to me. Most of this was small stuff that takes time. It wasn't many boards going on where you need to like pound them out. This was just well, most every board is different except for the three in the center you see. Okay, let's come back in a few minutes and see the next step in the progress ladder. So here we are again. So this is about 9 labor hours later. The gutter boards were scratched, scraped and painted. This door jamb, it was scraped and painted. I like the metal capping on door jambs, except for door jambs get dinged a lot, and it's a lot easier to just paint them than to try to replace or correct bent metal. And all this is aluminum that's been added. Ran short over there. See at the very middle and the top. Yeah. And then that was this house. At the same time, this next house, it had the gutter boards scraped, and then a quick coat of Pacific Blue. I really like that color. It's one of my favorites. Now, up above here, that's not metal capping. What that is it's easier to quickly put a coat of paint on the existing, I guess those are rake boards or eaves. But what really will take place down the road is a 1x6 will be added to that, and then that'll get capped. Take another look. See the way the siding is cut up to that board? So that edge is going to be covered up. The 1x6 will hang over about a ½ inch, and then the metal edge will add another ½ inch over that. So you'll see about a inch cover overlap. Let's see what this looks like from a distance. So this is all progressing. This is basically a whitewash, just getting it cleaned up. After the next couple hours I'm going to spend on this next house. I'm going to put a little bit of paint on these eaves. I have to look up the word eaves. I'm not too sure that's what those are. Those might be rake boards. As far as everyone's concerned, those are the boards that aren't painted. So can you see across the front there? Yeah, take a better look here. That's what I'll do next. Oops, a tree fell. So I gotta clean this house up. These black posts, they're actually temporary, but the black looks pretty good. That was suggested to me. I never would have thought of that. I was just gonna paint them white. After this touch-up paint is done, I'm gonna go back over each house and fill in the missing siding. Siding's inside the houses, so that's not a problem, but I'm trying not to jump around, not to do siding and painting and get nowhere. I've done a lot of that over the years. Okay, we're very close to having to cut the grass. We need to cut it now, but no one else has cut theirs yet, so it doesn't stand out. And then pressure washing, that comes later. The houses don't have electricity or water, so once I source some water, we can pressure wash. Okay, I'll come back in a little bit, see today's progress. Actually, let's go back this way and take a look at that picture. We'll start here next. Okay, so this should be the same picture you just saw, but with a little bit of paint. I had to do a little more scraping, and that ate up all the time. The painting, that goes pretty quick. I took painting lessons from Jim the medic. So back to this here. I actually don't have a scraper here. I was using a chisel. I'm thinking that it might be better to go ahead and put the correct boards up and then cap them rather than doing the temporary painting. And that's because these the gutter board isn't here on the end of the rafters, and what I painted, whatever this color is, that's the color around the windows, whatever that color is, that really should be the color of the siding. It's on the level of the siding. And then that whole ceiling area, well, that should be a ceiling. No sense painting. I did paint that one board there, but no sense painting all of that when really that should be covered up. And then you can probably look right above the door. None of that's painted. There was just too much scraping. But I got that, and I temporarily painted the boards around the window. Again, that's just to make it look a little better from the street. It's not the finished product. The whole outside of the house is probably going to get wrapped, except for the gables. And I'm not sure what to do about the gables. Originally it was going to be the Carolina beaded siding that you see here. But frankly, I picked the wrong color for that. I think that's like a sterling gray or something like that. The green looks great. The white windows, fine. And then the trim color around the windows, I don't remember the name, but all that looks fine. Shingle color, fine. But that gray, it just doesn't, I don't know, doesn't gel. All right, so that's about it. Easter's coming, and don't know, well, probably not much more is going to happen before Easter. That's coming right up. And then the following week we should see more, but I don't know what the weather's going to be like. So the other thing is I'll be working on the missing pieces of siding. Okay. Thanks for keeping me company. If it wasn't for you, this would really be boring. Oh, you know what? One more quick funny story. So, a few weeks ago, I was here and I needed a ladder. I was just getting here. And the nice girl that lives in this white house here, she had a ladder leaning against her house. And I said, hey, I used that ladder for a minute. I just wanted to make some measurements. And she said, no. The ladder didn't belong to her. Well, as she saw me on the ladder today, she goes, hey, do you have a hammer and nails, and could you nail up that tarp? That tarp was blown back a little bit. And I said, sure. So what happened was they had a big tree, came down in the ice storm. And then whoever cleaned up the tree went and pulled it. I pulled it this way and tore the kashniggans off of the out of that corner post. So I gotta fix my corner post here. Is this camera picking that up? Watch the zoom action. A little more, a little more, a little more. Okay, now you can see it. They tore that silly. Looks worse from the other side. Anyway, gotta fix it. I need some ideas for that gable. That green is actually overspray. When the foundation was being sprayed, there was a little paint left in the gun, and I quickly sprayed up there. It's been there for years like that. That wasn't supposed to be the idea. I think it'd be kind of neat to paint that a lighter color. Maybe leave the green as an accent. Ah, sorry. I said I was going to let you go. Alright, I like this stuff. See you again soon. But believe it or not, they always have kind things to say. They like my work. They never complain. They're a little bit mouthy at times, but where's my other friend here? Whoop. I'm actually standing in a different spot than where I normally would be, so things look out of place for them. Here we go. Now we're talking. I think I have to back up a little bit. Well, I hope you have a wonderful Easter. I will keep filming. I've been filming a lot, actually. It's the editing that gets me, and I'm talking every single time. It's funny because you have ideas of what you want to show, but then it just doesn't look the same when you're trying to edit it. It doesn't come across the way I imagined it. But over time I'll get better, and over time we'll explore some of the other projects too. Right now it's all been weeks of getting started. By the way, the weather is nicer. I think the first clips you saw were filmed about 2 months back, and now things are going to be pretty current. I work every week on these projects when not interrupted. Let's see who's not hungry here. By the way, today we're eating a tomato bread, or sun-dried tomato bread, which was bought at a roadside stand. Well, again, thank you very much for taking a moment to watch, and I will see you, well, I'll see you, I guess I won't see you anytime soon, but I'll be recording something soon. So, as they say, see you next time. Bye-bye. As they say, see you next time. Bye-bye.